Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Talking or using your device during the film is distracting. Don't ruin the movie.
And welcome back to the Retro Movie Experience. I'm your host, Mr. A&D, and joining me, the anime hero Swag on Zero.
What's going on, everyone?
Well, we're here for 31 days of Halloween. Let me tell you something right now. If you guys are into Halloween like we are, then you're in for a treat, because we're talking about the king of slasher films, the one that started it all with the horror tropes, Halloween from 1978. Let's go back in time to the 70s first off, because before we had Friday the 13th, before there was Freddy Krueger terrorizing our nightmares, we had something that was originally called the Babysitter Killers. And that's what Michael Myers is about. You go around and start killing all these babysitters. And at that time, horror, we had, like, you know, monsters. We had the Universal Dracula and Wolfman and Frankenstein and all those kind of movies. But there was something that needed to go beyond that. And we created, John Carpenter came with the idea of doing this Michael Myers kind of with this movie about this guy going around killing babysitters. And it was the most simplest project that became the most iconic, because they took this William Shatner mask from Star Trek, spray painted it white, and cut the eyes out, and it gave a really lifeless look to this thing, and it just took off from there.
Horrifying look.
Yeah, it's a very horrifying look. It's a very blank expression for a mask. It's something that doesn't have to be so scary. It don't have to be all, you know, blood and guts and teeth and stuff like that. It's just an actually scary mask. It's been the most iconic thing for 30, 40 years.
That and the presence.
And the what?
This presence.
The presence. Oh, his presence. Yes.
Yeah, his presence is
yes.
horrifying.
So there we get in 1978, John Carpenter's Halloween, which people don't truly realize of how iconic this movie is. This is the movie, I don't know if you know, Swag, that started the horror tropes.
I did not know that.
This is the movie that starts. That's why when you see it in the beginning in 1978, this is like jump scares, flashes, music. This is the movie that they start all this. Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all those movies and Scream and all that took these things and amplified them or just killed them. Right. That's what we have here for Halloween. So we're here in the Retro Movie Space. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and some of the spoilers that we like, because we're home. There's no experience here. So let's get on with the good.
Well, should we tell the story first?
Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. We should try to tell a story.
For the people who haven't seen it.
For the people who haven't seen it, get the hell off this thing. I'm playing. Okay. Because Halloween is so iconic. It's one of my favorite horror movies. I watched this thing literally in my lifetime about 36 times. Straight through.
Once a year.
No, I do it more than that. I do it.
No.
I can watch Halloween on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? People be like, "What? Turn it off." I'm like, my mom be bitching when I be she be like, "I don't want to be." I'm like, "It's Halloween. Stop." It's from 1978. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, but even though I think the old 70s stuff in the 80s had the best horror opposed to now. Today is more torture porn.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate that as well. So, we get into. So there is this girl named Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and she gets a job as a babysitter. But what she does not know is that there's this lurker going around the neighborhood, and who is this guy? This guy is named Michael Myers. This is a kid that at a young age snapped and put on a clown mask and killed one of his sisters. So they put him in a mental institution until he became, grown, and he escaped from the mental institution. Now, obviously, Michael Myers is doing things in this movie that nobody has seen Michael Myers do in previous movies, like Drive. Okay, and do stuff like that. So now he's out to go back to his home to take out his baby sister, which turns out to be Laurie, Jamie Lee Curtis. But she was a baby at the time, so she didn't know anything about Michael. But now he's going back to finish off the job and take out his sister. So that is the premise of the movie.
Right.
So now, one thing I like about Halloween, we go to my good section, is this is the most iconic Halloween music. Every time I hear it, I get chills on it, and that's why I know something about to go down. That doom 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 doom, like that used to be my ringtone when I was in high school.
Yo, I would have been like, hey, yo, we gotta watch him.
Yeah, we got like that. That used to be one of my. I had to end up changing it, but that was one of my ringtones that was going on in high school, and I think that John Carpenter, and does a great job at when it comes to selling suspense with the music.
Yeah, not even that, just with the like certain camera angles they used, because it was scenes in the movie where he was in the cop car and he was in the back seat, but it felt like you were a stalker. And the only movie I seen that done well was Unsane, but this was the movie where I was like, wow, this is done very well.
Yes, I definitely agree with you on that one, because we had a lot of shots from Michael's position.
Yeah,
when he was looking, and you heard the breathing.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, which freaked you out, and that's one thing about the old school horror that I like, and it was that he would stand off in a distance, and it's like if your peripheral don't catch it,
right,
you miss it. And Laurie's talking to her friends while she's walking down the street. He's just standing there and casually walks behind a bush.
Yep, and disappears.
It disappears, and it's just kind of like, oh, well, she's in school, and he's standing there watching her in school, and it's just like, oh, well, she's home, and he's standing there with the clothes out there on the clothes hanger. I'm like, that's some creepy shit right there.
Yeah, I totally forgot what I was gonna say, but it was one of the lines of the cinematography.
Yes.
So the cinematography was great. So it made you feel like the first scene in the movie, the very first scene in the movie where he kills his sister, I thought that was done very well. Without telling you why he's doing it, you kind of figure it's like, okay, this is why he's doing it.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Michael Myers. There's really no motive.
Right, it's more show don't tell.
Yeah,
and I like that,
which makes it very more creepy.
Right.
Then we also get introduced to a character, Dr. Loomis, which is Michael Myers' psychologist throughout the years, who has said that this man is beyond help. Anytime a doctor says you have to kill my patient and burn this sumbitch, like, this guy is something that is just beyond, what it is. Now, here's the thing. I want everybody to understand something. For those who may have seen Halloween H2O or Resurrection, y'all have to understand something. Michael Myers is not immortal. Okay? I want everybody to understand that. He's driven by hate, rage, and death. Every time he gets off on that shit, okay? But Michael Myers can be killed. Alright? Dr. Loomis said it. You just got to make sure he's dead, okay? And because I know a lot of people was thinking, because like I said, Halloween 4, 5, and 6 messed that whole thing up. And they made it seem like Michael Myers is this
unkillable.
Yeah, this unkillable thing. Like, Jason Voorhees is a supernatural thing. Freddy Krueger is a supernatural thing. So it's hard to beat them. Michael Myers was not that.
Right.
It's just that, they turned him into it, it didn't work, and then now he's back to being a regular guy, even in these new reboot Halloween movies.
I think it's scarier that he's just a being. Like, why are you capable of doing all this?
That's
why are you not feeling pain?
Exactly, because the thing is, he is feeling pain, but he is so driven by a goal, he won't show that. Like, that man's body is messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because
he got shot too many times, stabbed.
If you look at the 2018 Halloween, right? And they show you a glimpse of his eye. You see that his eye is like kind of messed up. It's because when Laurie stabbed him in the eye with the hanger in the first movie,
right?
When it was, which was that scene alone scared the shit out of me. When she's in that closet, he is breaking into that closet. I'm just like,
yeah, I was horrified too. I'm
done.
like, I can't do this. My aim would have been so off. I mean, I gotta put this hanger through this little keyhole.
Like, that is the blessing of God right there.
You were meant to survive.
You were meant to survive that, and then so those creepy elements, the way Michael positioned himself, where he does the sit up in the head turn, he created that. Famous wrestlers like Undertaker and Kane borrowed that Michael Myers sit up. That's from him. The Michael Myers head tilt that started with this Halloween. Halloween started so much iconic stuff that it's just so it's like almost on not any other level of any other kind of horror thing, and it makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
There are certain scenes on there that makes you uncomfortable. That once again, now horror tropes is like, well, we've seen it already, but imagine seeing it for the first time in 1978, where I think they did it, but remember when she told the kids to go run for help, and Loomis is out there, the music starts, he sits up, stabs her over the banister.
Yeah.
She falls down, because I've seen one, that's one of Kevin McAllister banisters. She falls over onto the steps. That hurts, okay? And then on the top of that, you see him at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And I mean, and coming down, that shit is horrifying. So she runs across the street, and this man's starting to power walk from the house across the street, and she's screaming, "Get that door open!" I'm like, that whole scene from the closet all the way to that, it's like one whole scene. I mean, it's not one shot, but it's one whole scene. That right there is the most terrifying part of the movie, where they use all the tropes that worked back then. Nowadays, I'm just like, oh my god, bust a window. Why ain't nobody answer the door? We see this shit already.
Right. It also, when you're scared, you don't think logically.
You don't.
You don't think logically when you're scared, and that's where a lot of people's like, well, why didn't you do that? If you're in this situation, you're just thinking, I need to go.
Exactly.
I need to go. I don't care where. I just need to go. And you don't think like, oh, if I do this, this will make this work. Like, no one's going to think like that in a life or death situation.
Exactly. And they made it apparent that it was a life or death situation in this movie. Now, is there anything about this movie that you didn't like?
No. There's honestly nothing I did not like about this movie. And again, I watched Halloween 2018 first, so I never seen this movie until now. And Halloween 2018 was my first Halloween movie, so I knew of the story, but I'd never seen it. So watching 2018, then watching this made me like this movie much more.
Yeah, because this is the very first movie of where it all happened.
Right. And I could understand why Laurie was the way she was in 2018.
Yeah.
So it really gave me more depth, and that's what made me enjoy it more. I honestly can't think of anything bad. There's nothing bad I can think of in this movie.
You know that, because I feel the same exact way. Halloween is in my top, and I mean my top echelons of horror movies. I watch it every year, but I watch it. There's just one of the Halloween movies I can watch year round.
Right.
It's, you know, saying something. I have a small list of my favorite horror movies that get this grade, and Halloween is one of them, because I give Halloween 1978 a complete nerdgasm.
Yeah, I do too. There's no doubt about it. Now I would like more of the aftermath. Like, how did the people react? Like the cop's daughter. Like, how did the cop react to find out his daughter was dead? So I would like more aftermath. I don't know if that's in the next movie or anything, but we'll see, because I remember you told me Halloween 2 is literally the same night.
It's really the same night. You do get I don't want to spoil too much of anything for you, but you do get a little bit of follow up on certain things. Probably not as much as you're looking for, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But you do get a little bit of follow up on that. But yes, we will be reviewing Halloween 2 also, because it is literally the same night. And honestly, I actually would like for you to review. Okay, so there is, for people that don't know, there are 4 Halloween storylines, and they ended Halloween when they're going to end Halloween like about 3 different times. Right now, my favorite is the one from 2018. From this one, the 2018 hopefully kills and hopefully ends that series. I liked Halloween 1 and 2 when I first started. That was my favorite one. Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. Then I did like H2O, but they kind of killed it with Resurrection. I wish that never had been made. But whenever you get the time, I mean, obviously not now, but you can check those ones out.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, so guys, make sure you stay tuned for more retro reviews every Sunday right here in the month of October for the 31 days of Halloween. And then make sure you guys check out NC Level Up, where we're doing some Halloween gameplay and Halloween themed things. So make sure you check all that great stuff out as well. And check us out right here. We had the schedule up on our banner for NC Studios. Great banner, by the way. So check all that great stuff out. So once again, this is NC, a place to be. Trying to Mr. A&D and the Anime Hero Swag on Zero.
Thank you, and stay tuned. I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything.
It's quite all right. And we'll see you at the movies.